It's out with the old and in with the new for the closely watched Dow Jones Industrial Average. Out with AT&T, that is, and in with Apple, the world's most valuable company. The switch on March 19th is not expected to impact either company except symbolically. The prestige of being one of the Dow's 30 chosen companies will add polish to Apple. The stock market fell sharply yesterday, but Apple rose to just under $127 a share.
Well, speaking of tech giants, look out, wireless world. Here comes Google. This week, a Google executive revealed that the company will soon launch a new wireless internet service. That could shake up the entire industry and force down data prices. Nicholas Thompson is editor of New York Magazine, the New Yorker's Magazine's website, excuse me. He is also a CBS News contributor. Good morning to you.
Good morning, how are you?
So why would Google, what is the motivation here to get into this world?
So what Google wants is it thinks that the cellular carriers are inefficient. It thinks the market doesn't work really well, and it thinks that makes it harder for you to use the Google products in which Google makes a lot of money, like YouTube, Android devices. So what they're doing is they're trying to get into the market to make the wireless carriers do better. Right. They're trying to show, we can do this, why don't you do this? We can make your phones work better, we can do it more cheaply. You guys better drop prices and have better data plans.
So what are they planning on offering here, Nick?
Well, we don't know. It was revealed in kind of an offhand way at an interview, but it seems likely, based on rumors, that there will be a Google wireless service that will have a lot of Wi-Fi. There'll be a very cheap data plan that will probably run just on the Nexus 6 phone, and that will show customers that, wait, you don't have to be paying $1,000 a year to get data. You can actually transfer most of the information over Wi-Fi lines, not over cellular lines, and save a ton of money.
So Google is not building its own cellular networks. They're really just partnering with rivals.
Yeah, well, it's so interesting because they're partnering with their frenemies, right? So Google makes a lot of money off Android. What do your Android phones use? Well, they use AT&T and Verizon and T-Mobile and Sprint. So Google needs these companies. It really doesn't want to irritate these companies, which is why they're being careful in how they talk about it. But they also want these companies to be better. So they're going out there to sort of compete with them, to help them, to inspire them. It's very awkward and complicated, but it's also the kind of thing Google does all the time.
Yeah, but in the meantime, they're planning on launching this perhaps as soon as late March?
Google is clammed up when I asked them questions about it yesterday. We don't know when it's coming. It will probably come, I don't know, sometime in the next couple months. We don't know if it will be a huge initiative or a medium initiative, but it will certainly be an interesting initiative.
Do you think this is sort of the evolution of how we use our phones? Because it does feel like you look around now, nobody's actually using their phone to make a call. We're all using it to look up stuff, to text stuff.
Right, we need huge amounts of data being transferred, right? The amount of information that must go through the air and two lines as we do all of these crazy things is quite huge. So it's hard to do that over cellular carriers. It really should be done over wireless networks. But the way our phones were built, it's mostly done over cellular carriers. That also, drives the most money to the cellular companies. So what Google is trying to do is to shift the paradigm, to make our phones much more efficient purveyors of information, because that's what we need, given what we use our phones for now. And it means more money for Google.
Big question here. Do you think this is going to increase competition and drive down costs?
Yes, I think that's what it'll do. I mean, it might also just completely flop right from the get-go. It's a very hard thing to do, and Google might withdraw after a few months. Yeah. My instinct, though, is that it makes everybody do better and makes things cheaper.
I'm suddenly starting to feel like my mother every time I talk about technology, though. Everything keeps changing. It's so fast. Nick Thompson, thank you so much.
Thank you.